powerful man. I think I just want to transition already and be in the analytics space. Your profile is amazing, and it just
Yeah.
shows that you have over time worked on your skill, and before you can earn all of those. So thank you so much for joining us today on this important discussion: how to land a high-paying job in data analytics and unveiling crucial insights into the world of data. So, we have a couple of questions for you that is gathered around this topic, and it's 10 questions precisely. And I'm sure that we will do justice to this topic as a whole. And also to our audience, our participants who are streaming from different places. If you have questions, please keep them now. Don't ask now. I would open the floor as to when the questions can come in. Okay, so before I ask the questions, let me also look at the comment section. Someone said, Ebere Ibekwe said she's streaming from Port Harcourt. Welcome. Already streaming from Lagos. Welcome. Okay, someone said, wow, I think it's about your profile, Olashebikon Jacob. And Dare Sikiru said is streaming live from Abuja. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much. We have people welcoming you already, Mr. Yakubu, Mr.
Yeah.
Harrison. So, like I said, if you have questions, go and keep it. Keep your paper and pen. Bring your paper and pen. Sorry, bring your paper and pen because you will be learning this amazing topic. So the first question is, what key skills and qualifications do employers typically look for when hiring for high-paying data analytics role? So this question is more like two questions in one. What are the key skills and qualification that employers typically look for when hiring someone with data analytic certification? Like if they want to employ that person and they want to pay big money, and let us break it down for people who wants to understand. Like I need to break it down. So for people who have the data analytics certification, looking at getting high pay job, what will the employers look at before they can say, I will pay you this particular amount? So the key skills and qualification. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right. Thank you very much for that question. So, first and foremost, thank you for having me on the session. I'm glad to be here once again. All right. So, what key skills do employers really look out for? Right. So, first and foremost, what our very first thing I would say is adaptability, right? Because the tech space is ever evolving, you must be able to adapt quickly as time goes on. That's one. Problem solving skill. And you must also be able to wear the hat of even the business owner, right? Which also leads us to you being able to communicate. Right now, I'm talking about the soft skills. So I will go from the soft skills to the hard skills, right? So the soft skills, which are problem solving skill, adaptability, being able to ask the right question, communication, right? I can tell you that 60 to 70% of your time as a data analyst or data scientist, you're going to be spending it in meetings with key stakeholders, with business owners, with business founders and like. So you must be able to communicate across board, right? You must have a very good communication skills because let's say, for example, you want to collect data even from the people who are under you. You must be able to actually communicate properly to enable them give you what you want in order for you to be able to do what you need to do. All right. So communication skill is key. Right. Now that's about the soft skill. For the hard skill, yeah. Now one very good skill I think you need to have is a very firm understanding of statistics and statistical models. Right. Probably even if possible, if I think it's a nice to have too if you have a very strong understanding of high level mathematics. Not to worry, even if you don't have that, Thank God for AI, for the advent of AI and other smart technologies. Once you grasp the understanding of these concepts, right, you can actually build models around it. That if you understand how to code in Python, how to use Power BI, how to use Excel, how to use Tableau and the likes, right, it will be easy for you to now actually be able to implement any of the statistical model. So I reiterate, from the soft skill, I talked about adaptability, I talked about communication skills, I talked about uh, uh, uh,
Problem
about that,
solving.
right? Problem solving skills, and you being able to wear the hat of the business owner or the founder at every point in time, right? Because you most times you'll be giving insights based on what the business owner or founder is looking out for, right? So you must be able to see from the business owner's point of view, right? What are they looking out for? Are they looking out for how the sales is going? What's the profit margin? These are the kind of things you want to look at. What's the performance like? All right. And then a very strong business acumen also is a nice to have, right? Then for the top, hard skill, coding skills, statistical skills, high level maths, and the likes, right? So I think that should work. And I feel these things takes time to build, right? So I would advise you take your time and build these skills. It's not something you just jump into one day and expect to begin to see the results immediately. But like I said earlier, thank God for the advent of AI tools that you can use to make fast track your movement. All right.
Okay. Okay, so that's the key skills. What do you feel like the qualification? What are the qualifications that
Oh,
employers typically look for?
all right. So a Microsoft certification, basically any certification in data science or data analytics will do. But right, a Microsoft certification will work. Let's say Microsoft certification in data analyst as a data analyst associate, or a Microsoft certified trainer, a Microsoft. Apart from so let's just be like I'm just talking about Microsoft, right? There are other places you can get certifications from. You can also join the data science network, which is domiciled in Nigeria, or you can also several certifications within that space, right? But because I'm a Microsoft guy, basically, that's why you hear me talk about Microsoft over time.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you so much for that question. So if you have a question, just keep it. I would open the floor where you can ask the question. So question two is there a step-by-step strategy to land a high-paying job in data analytics?
Oh wow, very interesting. I get asked this often time, right? Is there a step-by-step strategy? Now, this is what I'll share. Yeah, so the very first thing is I would love to borrow these three key steps to learning to mastering anything in life, right? Be it data analytics, be it software development, be it even theater art, any skill at all you want to master. There are three levels of learning according to Robert Greene, right? If you've ever come across the book called Mastery, in order for you to master any skill at all in life, you have to go through these three stages, which is the very first stage is the apprenticeship stage, right? The next stage is the creative active stage, and then the final stage is the mastery stage. So you must be able to go through those stages. So at the apprenticeship stage, right, you're expected to learn as much as you can, most likely get a mentor. So getting a mentor makes your journey a little bit faster, right, and easier, right? And I'm not saying get a mentor for a day or two or a month. Get a mentor for a lifestyle, for a lifetime, right? Get mentors as many as you can within the space. It makes your journey easier and faster, right? So the very first key strategy I would say is learn as much as you can. Get a mentor to actually mentor you through that stage, right? And then join communities. Join communities. One thing I would say is rigorously network, like network as bad as you can, right? Because trust me, the next big job you are looking for is seated somewhere, is with someone who knows you, right? So network rigorously, join communities. Yeah, see, okay, so I feel that within the data space, we have the best set of people around the world, right? Anybody you meet who's a data person is actually ready to help the next person, next data enthusiast, right? So network and join communities. One very key strategy I think would help anyone who's coming into the data space is at the very beginning, please, yeah, I know you're looking for something lucrative, right? If you put money before the skill, you end up not getting the skill, right? So put the skill, learn the skill perfectly, freelance, offer services for free if possible. These your mentors you've had at the very beginning, right? If possible, do jobs for them for free. Do heavy lifting for them, right? Help them on projects where they need people to help. So I kid you not, in a very early stage of my career, currently there's a particular uh, uh, part in data analytics I don't like doing anymore. Most times that I pay someone to do it or outsource it, which is data cleaning. It's a very, very crazy part of data science, right? I remember how I would actually go meet my mentors to help them clean their data because I always heard them say that was the most tedious part of data analytics. And that helped me understand every that helped me understand what it means to actually deal with data redundancies. And if you're not able to deal with data redundancies properly, you will not be able to give the proper analysis or the proper insight. So I'll say it again: network heavily, join communities, work for free for your mentors. There's a word they call that: work for free for your mentors. Basically, I think that should work. And along the line, as time goes on, time and chance will happen to you.
Definitely, I like that answer. So, before we go to the next question, I just want to add one thing about the part you talked about having a mentor. It is very, very important. I got to know that I got to understand the value and importance of a mentor at a later age. And I was like, what have I been waiting for? Like, you just need someone who has been there before to hold your hands and guide you, because we can make mistakes and sometimes we don't even know we are making the mistake. Imagine someone showing you that this is how you can do it, and it becomes so easy for you. He also said something about rigorous networking. Well, I met our guest speaker through networking about 1 year ago, and imagine what we're doing today. Beyond that, early this year, I had someone who I met in a networking event, but because she knows what I do, and then she just called me one day from Port Harcourt that, okay, there's a project a company is handling and she wouldn't know if I can. I said, why not? If it's about business, this person, I don't know her from anywhere. I went for a networking. Actually, it's a conference. But for every conference, I make up my mind to say, okay, this is what I do, and this is how. Because if you stay in your comfort zone, if you don't step out, it's more like everything you've learned over time will just remain with you. Step out, make mistakes. Because a lot of time that I've gone to that I've gone to conferences, I come back with feedback because I introspect a lot. So what went wrong? What did I not do well? Let me come back and work on it. So going to conferences is me going to know how I have grown over time, what I'm lacking. Then I come back home and I practice and say, okay, when I come next time, I am not the same way I went the last time. So it's a major factor for me. Apprenticeship stage, mentorship, joining community is also top notch. Let me not talk too much about being in powerful community. You just need that. And also rigorously network and offer your services for free. Now, there's a way you offer your services for free that people would see. No, ordinarily, when you tell them, come and pay for my service, there are 1001 people doing the same thing you're doing. Why should I leave you? Why should I leave others to come and meet you? Because I don't know your capacity and I'm not ready to try. But oh, don't worry, let me do this for you. There's a way. I've had a lot of people from volunteer to retainership. And so you need to sharpen your skill very well to know what you're capable of, and then people would see the impact, and then from there you can balance to say, yes, I am targeting a high paying job. So question 3 is, what are some of the popular tools and technologies used for data analysis, such as Python, SQL, and data visualization?
All right, so I think you already mentioned the major tools. Right. So Python is one go-to tool for data analytics, for data science. It makes your job easy, it makes your job seamless. Once you know how to, once you understand the libraries, once you can call the functions, I mean, it makes your job just go easy. And then of course, if you're a very lazy person, because most times, all right, I remember when I started, most times they say data scientists are mostly lazy people, right? So we want to automate your business, your processes, right? Python is a go-to tool, right? So there's Power BI, there's Excel, there's Tableau, whichever one fits you. So for visualization, Power BI, Tableau, Excel are the go-to tools. For automating business process or automating processes, Python, and also some other new and advanced AI tools that we have will also come in handy, right? So those tools here you've mentioned earlier. And then one key tool that every data analyst must have, that I feel every data analyst, I feel that this tool is going to stay forever, right, in data analysis, which is SQL. Grasping a good command of the SQL, the structured query language, right, to take you very far and beyond. So SQL spans beyond just data analytics or data science, right? It's also for use for you can use it for data engineering, for database managers, anything that has to do with pulling data, visualizing data and all of that. SQL is the go-to tool. So please, whichever tool you're learning, just like the scripture says, know thy learning, right? Whichever tool you're learning, right, make sure you learn SQL and keep it handy. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'll go on to the fourth question. So my fourth question here is the interview process of data analytics role can be rigorous. What are some common interview questions and challenges that candidates might face when applying for a high-paying data analytics position?
What are the common? Please go over that question again.
Okay. So the interview process of data analytics role can be rigorous. What are some common interview questions and what are some challenges that candidates face when applying for data analytics position?
All right. So I would work through this question from an angle, right? So I would advise that whenever you're interviewing with any company, especially for a high paying role, right? Try as much as possible to research on that company a lot. Yeah. So when you research on that company a lot, more sometimes even having an insider information would help you. Why have I said this? Because for every company, they have set up a different infrastructure. So for example, you can go into a company and their infrastructure is all set up on Google, which means that you must learn the Google Analytics track to be able to function well in that society, right? In that community or a company, right? But for a company who has done Microsoft, for example, who is heavily seated on Microsoft, and you're bringing Google Analytics into it, you see that you might not be valuable, right? So in order for you to actually be able to scale up easily, you must first and foremost understand what are the tools or skill sets they are looking for. So sometimes it could be that, and another thing could be that they are trying to solve a particular problem at this point in time. That's why they are looking for a data analyst. Yeah. So you must be able to tailor your answers to suit that situation. Yeah. So what are common questions you could get asked? Most times you get to ask things like, what's your journey so far in data science? And see, okay, so I feel that this is the easiest question to give you in, right? This is the question that makes people know if you've done the job or not, if you have actually worked on yourself or not. Right? When they ask you questions like, what's your journey so far? Immediately you begin to answer that question, just like Elon Musk once said, that immediately he gives people a project, he gives someone a project, he tells the person to begin to, there are certain ways he asks these questions. Once this person begins to talk, he can tell if this person did the work himself, or he outsourced it, or if this person actually has worked hard on himself. So in order for you to know, or for you to showcase that you have worked hard on yourself, it will show naturally in your journey. And that's why I stated earlier the three stages of learning: the apprenticeship stage, the creative active stage, and the mastery stage. whenever you start talking about your journey, they can easily see what you've gone through. Another thing they want to ask is, what are the tools you use currently? What are the tools you use? So one thing I need to ask you or beg you for, if you are looking for a high-paying job, is to always stay at the edge of cutting-edge technology. Always stay at the top. Always know what's the new thing. What's the new? For example, AI is coming so fast. There are tools. There, for example, there's GPT-4. There's Power BI. There's Copilot in Power BI. There is analytics in Excel. These are smart tools to help your analysis go faster, and then you can optimize your processes, right? These are the things actually employers are looking for. They are not looking for your effort, they are looking for your results. So they just want you to give them results. So the smarter you are in applying these solutions, the better it is for you. All right. So basically, they want to know the stack you use. Is the stack smart? Are you adapting to the current trends? And then, of course, the most important, if depending on the kind of company you're interacting with, right? There are some companies that are heavily data centric. Then they begin to give you questions on SQL. They want to see how you query database. They want to see your understanding of average functions of different functions in SQL. They want to see your progress in Python. They want to see your understanding of pandas. They want to see your understanding of matplotlib. They want to see how you can manipulate data. What do you do with data redundancies? When you meet a messy data, what do you do with a null, a column that has so many null or so many null data points? What I mean by null data points that don't have data there, and you need those data points for insights. What are you going to do with them? How do you use your measurement of central tendencies? You see why I say the understanding of statistics comes in. How do you use those measurement of central tendencies? When do you use them? When and how do you use them? When do you not use what? When are you going to use mean? When are you going to use median? When are you going to use mode? This, just something as simple as that. Funnily, so quickly, I remember when one time I was having a conversation with one of my colleagues, and I said, I remember when we were jokingly learning measurement of central tendencies in school, right? Secondary school and probably even the university, right? I did computer science, so I did statistics was a major for me, right? So I remember when we were doing all these courses, and we would just cram to pass. Actually, not until when we got into the job force, then we discovered that so for me to actually make a business decision, I must actually understand what mean, median, and mode actually does on a data set. Do you understand? So basically, understanding all this, and see the reason why you need a mentor, because your mentor has walked the road you're trying to work, right? He has seen things you're trying to see. He has solved problems you're trying to solve, right? So basically, I cannot overemphasize that aspect of having a mentor, because it makes you easy. It just makes your job a little bit easier. I kid you not, I'm a very strong supporter of having a mentor, basically, because I know what I've benefited from it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for answering that. Our next question here is funny enough, I think I crammed the mean media mode or the statistic in school. I think I did. God help me. Okay, so the next question here is negotiating salary. Negotiating salary and benefits can be daunting. What tips do you have for candidates to confidently approach salary negotiations for a data analytics job?
All right. So first and foremost, know your worth. Know how much work you've put in. Know, in fact, I think when you've put in enough work, it makes it easy for you to negotiate your salary, right? And that's on one angle. Then another angle is knowing what's currently an entry. For example, if you're going for an entry level role, no, there's a general how do I put this now? There is a general entry level salary you are expected to earn. For example, I don't expect any entry level data analyst to earn within Nigeria. Entry level, not what's it called now? Not I'm sorry. I think that's one of my staff in the office. So I stay back at the office to be able to do this so that I don't get trapped in the traffic, right? So I had to stay back at the office. So probably that's one, right? So I think I lost my line of thought.
A standard for an entry level.
Yeah. So I don't expect any entry level data analyst within Nigeria, especially with the current exchange rates, to earn below 250,000 naira, for example. But then again, you must be able to prove yourself that you can earn that, that you've worked on yourself, and then you can solve company problems to be able to tell them negotiate that. I don't know if any. Also, I'll keep this. I don't know if any of my. I had a very high level with one of my employers. I don't know if any of my, because I know some of my colleagues shared this stuff. Some of them might be on this call, so let's leave that. But basically, know your worth, right? Know what you bring to the table. Know the kind of solutions you're trying to solve, the kind of problems you're trying to solve, the kind of solutions you're trying to bring, right? So basically, when you know all these things, and then you also have the idea of what generally that role you are trying to be employed for is earning generally around the world or within Nigeria. Know that also. Then also finally know how much company people on that level in that company earn at that time. Right. So it's easy for you to negotiate so that you don't go too high or too low. Right. Because if you go too low, the employer is happy to give you at that rate. You understand? Every employer is happy to give you at that rate because I mean the less is fun for them, right? Everybody loves to keep money, but then again, if you can actually have all these things, I kid you not, make sure you are coming to solve a problem. Basically, yeah, make sure you're coming to really solve the problems because that's why you're actually a data scientist. And
Okay.
actually, they see data scientists as soothsayers one, and they see you as be careful when to handle that properly, right? They see you as an AI. Sometimes I'll be like, these guys think I'm a robot, but I mean, you're a data scientist. You signed up for it, yeah. So yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you so much for doing justice to that question. I think we are on our sixth question. After this, we have four more to go. As a
Wow.
data analyst, and as a data analytics, or rather, as a data analyst, sorry, as data analytics continue to shape business strategies, how do how do you foresee the landscape evolving, and what opportunities might arise for professionals in pursuit of high-paying roles? Should I read again because there was a
All
bit of
right, so I
mix?
think I think I understand that question. Yeah, so I'll speak about that question from the aspect of AI, artificial intelligence, right? So basically, now let me quickly explain something. Let me explain the concept of data, right? So imagine a situation where you're trying to build an AI system. Watch, follow me, please. Right? If you For you to get an AI-enabled solution, work backwards a little. You must have built a data science solution. Work backwards a little. You must have built a data analysis solution. Work backwards a little means that you must have built a robust data set, which means your data engineering, your database management must have been put properly in place, right? So where we are going to, right, where the landscape is moving us to, is we are coming fully, although the adoption of AI is quite nascent in Nigeria, in Africa. I wouldn't say for the Western world because to a reasonable extent is fully adopted, right? But the adoption of AI and AI technology is quite nascent. And if that is so, it means that there is still some robust opportunities in that space, right? So this is where we are going to using AI to solve business solutions, right? And like I said, if you work backwards a little, so how does AI work? Let me quickly say it. So AI works with data science or the skill set of data science being applied on data. So what I mean by that is this: you have a data set, you've applied statistical model to that data set, you've used machine learning to learn. Okay, so as I was about saying this, I remember I was having a talk with some of my students, and I said, I was joking. So I was actually teaching, lecturing actually, and then I said, machine learning is used to teach the machine how to learn from your data. And then this was what one of my naive students said. He said, sir, so apart from lecturing students, you also lecture computers. I'm like, oh, well, I didn't see that coming. But yeah, we teach computers how to learn. We teach the machines how to learn from our data and also make decisions for us, right? So that is building AI solutions. So for you to build an AI solution, you must have first of all understand what it is to do data science, what it is to keep clean data. Do you understand? So moving forward, we are going to the era fully of data and data science, AI and robotics. So understanding AI properly and using it as a facilitator of your or an enabler of your solutions, of your data solutions you're providing, right, is where I think you should be positioning yourself right now. Position yourself to learn AI tools. Position yourself to learn, apart from being a data analyst, a data scientist or database engineer, one key tool. I had the opportunity to speak at Global AI conference, right? And this was the thing I said. I said, so AI is not coming to. If someone asks me a question, is AI coming to take away our jobs? I said, no, no. AI is not coming to take your jobs. Those who use AI effectively will eventually take your jobs, right? If that is true, if that's the case that we are faced with, it means that you should learn prompt engineering. I don't know. I feel like shouting at the top of my voice to say this right now. Every Nigerian, because I'm an advocate for every Nigerian to become tech savvy. I want, part of my goals in life is to actually see how we can spread the gospel of tech and AI to as many people as we can, right? Every single Nigerian, or as a matter of fact, every single professional I feel should have an understanding, even if it is basic, right, of prompt engineering. That is the future of AI. That's the future of work. I repeat again, that is the future of work, right? Prompt engineering will make your life easy and simple, right? So you have a complex problem you are trying to solve. Oh, wow, go to prompt engineering. If you understand how to use prompt engineering, practically, Madam Uju, I think we should do a course on prompt engineering sometime soon, right? So I could actually come on board, probably like a 2-day, 3 days training, right?
Okay.
Well, I'll teach you the integrity, because prompt engineering, if on the surface level, I've seen a lot of guys try to do prompt engineering and I see them do it on the surface level. And I show them just one little trick, just a step deeper, and they'll be like, wow, oh, I never saw, oh no. I mean, that's just one step deeper I showed you. There's still a lot you can do with it, right? So I know many people might not have the time or the patience to go learn prompt engineering at a deeper level as a prompt engineering expert, right? Because you probably have your profession to still pursue, right? But then again, at some level, at least to a reasonable level, learn prompt engineering moving forward. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. And yeah, I'm open for I'm open to so many opportunities. So we'll talk about that behind the scene. So number 7 is for individuals who are new to data analytics. What are some recommended starting points or online platform to begin learning the essential skills?
Cradle space. Yeah, so Krello Space. Apparently, I have one of my courses on Krello Space, right? And I think there are other courses around that. I think there is a course on business robotics, on things like that, robotics for business and all of that, right? So the course I have on Krello Space is an entry level course. Therein, I talked about statistics and I dealt with statistical models and how to even apply statistical models to solving business problems, right? I think I also, if I'm not mistaken, I also did a little bit of explaining how you can also apply the measurement of central tendencies on a normally distributed data set, right? And also I think I talked about also binomial distribution and other kinds of distributions you might have on your charts. When you look at your charts, when you see these kind of distributions, what does it mean? What decisions can you make with that, basically, right? So I think I have some of that on that platform. So Space is a very good platform. Yeah, and then also I don't know, I think we should also set up maybe probably also a class, probably a course or something, where we can actually see those that are really interested to also come on board for to learn what they need to learn and be guided properly. Right, so I wouldn't know. There are so many other platforms. There is Udemy. There is Coursera. There are so many other platforms. I kid you not. Now, let me tell you something about these platforms. Yeah. So there are two types of learning in our world today, right? There is instructor-led learning phase, so learning style, instructor-led, which means that your instructor is always there with you, whether virtual or physical, right? And then there is self-paced learning, right? So now for the instructor-led learning style, it happens in two ways. So you can do both instructor-led and so instructor-led means that, like I said earlier, your instructor is there, yeah, and you can also now do self-paced. So you can learn with the instructor and still go self-paced, right? But one thing about learning from those platforms, I started at some point in the early part of my career. I did a course on Udemy, right? But trust me, I studied hard, right? But it didn't still make sense. I was studying, I was getting the skill, but it still didn't make sense to me on about as to how to apply these skills. Not until when I got into instructor-led trainings, right? So we started making sense. Oh, so this is what this because that instructor was not there for me to ask questions, right? I think that's why Credit Space is also providing the opportunity for you to, even when you go through the instructor-led kind of learning, then there's still an opportunity for you to talk to the trainers who have actually done that training. Am I correct, Madam Uju?
Yes, you're very correct. So, as a beginner, we have a course which is self-paced on data analytics using Excel, and it's a self-paced learning. And I think within 2 days you can get your certificate on that, which goes for 9,999 naira. So, as a beginner, you can enjoy the opportunity of learning introduction to Excel with data analytics with Crello Space. Like I said, Crello Space is an affordable yet valuable edtech platform that has the support of amazing experts. So if you're learning, in as much as we have self-paced and live classes and also virtual classes, you will fall back to a community of the experts who taught the course, and so you would also enjoy mentorships and the like. So when you check the link, you will see the link for the course, which goes for 9,999 naira. Because you're here, you can jump on that link. So I would go on to the next question. Um, the question we just finished now is we just finished seven, where you recommended a starting point or online platform to learn data analytics as a beginner, and you recommended Crello Space. And yes, I think the link has been sent now, so you can jump on the offer while you're here. So we'll move to the next question, which is number 8. Data analytics often involves Excel, programming, and software tools. What programming languages and software platforms would you suggest beginners focus on learning first?
So I would advise for you to have a good understanding of what the data space is all about. Go through learning data analytics using Excel. At least that gives you an understanding of what data is all about. So I'll walk you through my own workflow, my own personal workflow I've designed for myself. So no matter where the data set is coming from, either Excel, SQL, or whatever, except of course I'm dealing for those that are for example, I heard someone has a certification in Microsoft Power BI, right? There is when you want to query a data set from SQL and you want to do a direct query, right? So you're not importing the data set into your Power BI, you are doing a direct query, right? Except for that case when I have to talk to the database itself. Probably the data set is quite large and probably even sitting on the cloud or something. It's quite large. Or I want to do something like a real-time analytics where I want as the data set is coming in, or as people are feeding the database, I am getting a real-time analytics on my dashboard, right? Except, of course, I am doing that. Yeah. Most times, what I do is to pull out my Excel. I hope I'm not giving too much, anyways. But is to pull out my data set into my Excel, look at it in my Excel. I love to say play with it. Most times I say data is always speaking. It depends on who is listening, and depends on what you're willing to listen to. Right? Data is always speaking. So when you have a data set in front of you, it's always, to me, I feel like you have a smart entity in front of you. So it's always enjoyable to look at these things. Man, trust me, it's a very interesting phenomenon, right? So what I do most times is to pull it up into Excel after I've actually developed. So I didn't talk about the stages of doing data analytics, but probably we'll talk. I said that a lot during the course on Excel for Excel using Excel for data analytics. I said that a lot. These 7 stages of doing any data analysis project. 7 stages. See, I promise you, if you jump any of those phases, you have to go back and restart. Trust me. I've done it before. Not once, not twice, not 3 times. I had to go back and restart. Oh wow, I've forgotten that I used to teach this thing. I go back and do this thing again now. You understand? So I'm telling you from experience. So you have to go through those stages. It's like it's like rules set in stone, basically. So what I do is I bring it into Excel, and that's because I've been able to master almost all the tools, right? I bring it to Excel, visualize. I look at it, do a little bit of data modeling, do clean up my data redundancies, and all of that, and then bring it to Power BI and visualize. So with Power BI, you can build amazing dashboards. You can even use your map. You can show, for example, let's say you're doing digital footprint tracking. That's a kind of data analytics, right? You can show on a map exactly real time where those people are on the map using Power BI. So very beautiful. And Power BI has very wonderful visualizations. Probably I'll do a course on that too. And if you probably join any of the courses, definitely those are the things we'll be looking at, right? Where you can build a geographical, you can use geographical data sets to visualize on a map. You can look at the map of the world, the map of Africa, the map of Nigeria. So most times I'm very sure some of you must have actually come across, probably you're watching channels, or you're watching any of these data analysts who's talking about, or any of these visualizations done on any of these foreign channels, right? You see that you visualize stuff on different maps and all of that. Trust me, it's something you can design. It's not that difficult, basically, but you have to just need to learn how to do it, basically. Thank God for this kind of tools. It's not easy, yeah. So when I'm done with that, if I need to do any predictive analytics, right, or I need to optimize the business process, right, I now go into Python. Sometimes, yeah, even when you're doing your data cleaning, you're trying to do your data cleaning in Excel and Power BI, it's not working. That's when Python will come in handy for you. So basically, I feel all of them is important, but you should start with understanding data. Basically, understand why you even need to collect data using Excel, right? So understand how to visualize your data in Excel, how to play with pivot charts, pivot table, and all of that, and then every other thing comes in easy.
Okay, amazing. Thank you for that answer, which means that the intro, okay, not to worry. Your questions will be answered after this session. Just keep them so we don't miss them at this point. So no questions should come in now. I would open the floor for questions. So thank you so much. You emphasize on knowing your data. Using data, using Excel, and even knowing why you need to collect data. So jump on the opportunity now and enroll for the course. You'll see the link in our chat box. Is 9,999. If you enroll now, you get instant access. So you need to understand where you are currently, where you're going, and where you want to get to. So we have the ninth question and one more to go afterwards. Data analytics can be a vast field. By all of your explanation, I've seen that already. It's vast. It's vast. How should beginners, how should they approach the process of selecting a specialization or area of focus within data analytics that aligns with their interests and career goals?
Okay, so
Like, you understand the question, right?
Yeah, I do. So this
Okay,
is this is more of a very personal question, but I'll approach it from a professional angle, right?
okay.
I am an advocate of people doing things that are innate, things that you do effortlessly, things that are part of you, right? So I recently, one of my very good mentors is Robert Greene, right? He was recently talking about how learning could become interesting, right? And how if the learning process is just pain, your brain shuts down and then you stop even learning, right? But when it's pleasure, basically like that, it's interesting for you, it's intriguing for you, right? So you enjoy the process more because even life itself is like, according to Albert Einstein, life is like riding a bicycle. To keep going, you have to keep going forward. You have to just keep going. Do you understand? It's like a bicycle. So imagine you're riding a bicycle, yeah, and you fall down. If you don't stand up to keep going, you stop riding the bicycle. Do you understand? So basically, it has to be a mixture of both pleasure and pain. So if it's just pain, you shut down, basically. So I think that doing things that are not your natural giftings makes it easy. Now I said Robert Greene, not Robert Dream. Robert Greene. Robert Greene. Green as in Green, right? So doing things that comes to you naturally, I feel, or another way I could say it is doing things until they come to you naturally. All right, makes it easy for you to learn. All right, so whenever you want to, so how do you pick a sport? This is what I would say. If you are naturally, so I will work back a little and I would approach this from what Robert Kiyosaki said in his book. He was talking. I'm sure a lot of us know who Robert Kiyosaki is, who wrote the man who wrote Rich Dad Poor Dad, right? He said he loves buildings. Just by looking at buildings alone, he makes it is intrigued by buildings. So by default, he went into the business of real estate. Do you understand? So if you want to excel in any field in life, I feel that you should find yourself in a field that is close to what you naturally love to do. Yeah. So by default, I love to provide business solutions. I love to look at things from an helicopter point of view, right? An helicopter view is a kind of a psychological view in business, right? So since I love that, what I do naturally is to want to provide business solutions, not just business solution. As a matter of fact, that's why she talked. Our host mentioned the fact that I founded an outfit where we solve business problems, analytical business. We use data to solve business problems, right? And not just those kind of business problems. Recently, we are pivoting into AI automation agencies. We are pivoting to an AI automation agency. So we come into your business, right? We look at the loopholes in your business. What are the things you need to automate and all of that, right? We help you know because we are professionals in these tools, right? We use these tools to now provide solutions. To our goal is to I'm sorry to say this here, but our goal is to try to see how much we can reduce human interference in the business process. So we can have robots and machines doing the job for you. That way, it reduces cost and it maximizes your profit. So imagine a situation where you reduce your cost and you maximize your profit, which is what it means by scaling. All right, I'm sure a lot of people, if you understand business or if you've gone through an MBA, you understand that there are three rules to scale. Right, each is solving a problem that is a big problem. Right, know how to distribute your solution and know how to collect your money. Knowing how to distribute your solution is where we come in because we help you build seamless processes that would remove human interference, thereby allowing things to go smoothly. Yeah. So basically, why I had to say all of this is that I practically chose a path for myself because I see myself excelling in this path. Right. I have a lot of friends who are into real estate. I have a lot of friends who are into finance. In fact, what I do basically is to tell them, for example, if I'm about to purchase a property or about to delve into one property, there's a property I like. Oh, guy, what's up? There's this property. Do you understand? So basically, I can now focus on my data science or tech and building tech and solutions. I sometimes I don't even know how even our financials. So most times I seem like a dummy when I talk to my finance guys. So it's like, oh wow, they are saying so many sweet things I didn't even understand. Except of course for the kind of things that I do in business. Well, of course, you cannot bamboozle me with things like profit margin and all of that. These are things I play with almost every day, right? So, but when it comes to those nitty gritty, they need to tell you, so I'm like, oh, guys, sorry, that's not my space, right? So, looking for things that will do naturally and focusing on those things and becoming the best version of yourself in that place. So basically, so if you're someone who's driven to the medicals, playing medical fields, so data science can be applied in all the fields, not in most fields. I'll say all the fields. Even in theater arts, you can use data science. In football, they use data science. In basketball, I know you might want to ask me why. Probably we'll have a discussion for that another day. In basketball, you use data science. In music industry, you use data science. In any industry at all, maybe even in marriage, yeah, you use data science. Well, so yeah, so basically, I'm saying that data science cuts across everything. Yeah, that's what's basically what I'm trying to say. So, what you should do is find what you're most passionate about. Like I said earlier, I'm an advocate for doing things that you find innate, things that you do natural, things that you do effortlessly. Of course, like I said, going through the three learning stages, which is the apprenticeship stage, the creative active stage, and the mastery stage, right? By the time you go through these three stages, at the point of mastery, I mean, it's just like the guy who goes to learn the keyboard, who has been learning keyboard at the age of 15. At the age of 25, he can play Mozart. At the age of 30, he can play almost all the Andels, almost all books about Andel that Andel has written. At the age of 40, probably begins to write his own music. You understand? So basically, that's just how it works. So finding one space you want to be in, this is the thing I'll do effortlessly, and then learning to stick to it, basically.
Okay. I would also like to add to that, where I newly transitioned into the tech about 2 years now, not up to 2 years. But when I started, I hope you can hear me. Okay, you can hear me. I started off with UI UX design because 13 years ago, when tech was not tech, I was in Lagos City Computer College 13 years ago studying data processing. If I had known that data would be technology would be what it is, I would have 13 years experience in data processing, and maybe I'll be your boss by now. I'm just joking. Um, honestly, honestly, I did learn data processing 13 years ago in LCC, and what am I trying to say is that after I left, um, when I wanted to transition 2 years ago, because over 10 years I've been in the business space, real estate, and investments. And I really wanted to transition into the tech space. And it was now a decision of where should I transition into. So one other thing that I like doing is I design. So most of the graphic in Crello space, I design it too. And so I started, downloading some, I enrolled for UI UX design, but I did not finish it to date. Why is that at some point I saw that I wasn't deriving so much passion. I didn't want to find myself doing something I'm not really passionate about. Wherever you find yourself, no matter the skill, there's always difficulty in it. But the reason
Yeah.
why you started is what will keep you going. So if you're in
Mm.
a space where you don't really like it and it's difficult, you are likely going to give up. So find what you like and build on it so that when challenges come, you remember why in the first place you want to do this. And so in my 10 years or in the business space, I led marketing team. I led sales team. In fact, my track record is top notch. I get promotions and the like. And I'm a three times um, certified in strategy from Harvard Business School online. So I understand the business space, I understand strategy, I understand marketing. And I thought to myself, because I really felt like digital marketing was not it. Digital marketing is king, actually. I'm not trying to digress. And I said to myself, okay, I think I want to be in this space. And then on a master's level, I went to a business school and I was like, oh my goodness, this is what I want. So I'm easily able to transition into it
Yeah.
because of my interest, and it became more easier. See, one thing about tech is What is your passion? Where are you coming from? It will be easy for you. There's always one thing. Even as a painter, you like to paint. You have different places you can transition into in the tech space. So we are not talking about transition today, but I'm just trying to add to what is saying about finding the right area of focus within data analytics. I'm sure the different aspects of data analytics. So know about each of them. So what I did over time was I listed all the courses in tech. I started saying, what is UI UX design for? What is web development for? What is all this? So that I would know the one that interests me and I can build on it. So if you're in the world of data already, pick out all you mentioned Power BI, SQL, Python, and the likes. Google, what are these things meant for? Does it align with what I want? If it does align, then you sit back and say, okay, I want to do this. But you must be rest assured that nothing comes so easy. But your reason why will keep you going. So yeah, I've added my point there. So the last question here, thank you so much. Yes, there'll be a recording for this session. The last question is mentorship. We've spoken about it, but well, that's the last question anyways. Mentorship can be invaluable, of which I even know that. Are there online communities or mentorship programs that beginners can join, or even those in the intermediate level can join, to receive guidance and support as they learn data analytics?
Yeah, of course there are. There are. Like I said earlier, I think the data. Permit me to say this. Yeah, I feel like the data family in Nigeria currently is the best family to be in. Right? You have a lot of communities. We have the Azure. For example, I belong to several communities. I spearhead some. I am a mentor in some. I am a member in some. And so we have the Azure community, for example, Azure Data Science community that I belong to. We have the Microsoft Certified Trainers community that I belong to. We have the Microsoft Certified Data Analyst community that I belong to. We have the Young Data Professionals of Nigeria that I belong to. We have the Data Science Networks of Nigeria that I belong to also. And there are several communities. There's also Madam Ju, there's one Rome Business School is actually offering also. I'm trying to remember the name right now. Right, it's also a community. Yeah. So basically, there are several communities. So I just mentioned these ones. There's Young Data Professional, there's Azure Data Science community, there's Microsoft Certified Trainers community, there is Microsoft Certified Data Analyst community, and all of that. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So maybe after the program, you can list the communities. We also have our community of data
Yeah.
students as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's also
True.
one of it.
True.
But you would help list them out so that if you're
Sure.
not on our WhatsApp group, please let us know. We'll be dropping that WhatsApp group so that we would send the replay there. We'll send the replay to your email, and we'll also send the list of this community so that you can also benefit from it. So apart from introduction to Excel using data analytics, which is on our website and sold at 9,999, is there any other program that we have on board that you want to present to them, and for how long?
I think we have a question around ADP list for mentorship too. Why? But I think probably you might just want to attend to that. But quickly, if there are any other courses. So before I say that, recently I and my friends within the data space, my team actually, we recently thought about a particular solution we're trying to build, and we're trying to build a community around that solution, right? So I could also advise that if you can, quickly go follow me on LinkedIn, right? Check out my LinkedIn bio. They'll reach out to me. You don't have to. So please, pardon me if I don't reply to your message early, right? It's Madam Uju will tell you better, right? Pardon me if I don't reply to your messages early, right? It's most times like I kid you not, being a data scientist or a data analyst, as the case may be, is not a joke, right? You have, trust me, if you're working in any company as a data scientist, the whole company is coming to you. In fact, today, just today, I had a conversation with one of my top management staff in my company. It was obvious, and he mentioned it that it's obvious that everybody's coming, but then you need to know their deliverables. Yeah. So basically, what I'm trying to say is the whole company will come to you because you're practically like the business owner. Yeah. So that being said, so you can follow
Okay.
me up. Let's see. Like I said earlier, we are building a community. You can follow me up and reach out and you can add you to one or two, right? So that's one. So it's Harrison Yakubu on LinkedIn, right? So the other programs we're having. So we currently own a physical hub. We are planning. So we have virtual and physical trainings,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So
Sorry to cut you, Mr. Yakubu. I
all
think
right.
you're frozen. Okay, I think you're back up. But let me just say it. So we also have intermediate class. If you if you prefer online class, we have that for the intermediate class, and we also have physical class if you are in Ikeja or if you can travel down from wherever to study data analytics for 6 weeks in Ikeja. So we have 6 weeks intensive online class for data analytics where you'll be learning. Can you help me on that? Power BI, personal.
We're learning Power BI, we're learning Excel, Power
Okay,
BI, SQL, and PowerPoint for
okay.
creating
Microsoft
dashboards.
PowerPoint.
And then, yeah, Microsoft PowerPoint. And then Microsoft Power BI is also Microsoft Power BI, right? Microsoft
Okay,
PowerPoint, and then personal branding. Personal
personal.
branding, just like the kind of conversation we had today about
Okay.
how to position yourself. This is where we'll now teach you how to really position yourself, both online and offline. Yeah.
Okay, okay, great. So if you want to join that 6 weeks cohort that is starting first week of September, the price is 80,000 naira. But because you're here, there's a 10% discount. So you would be able to enroll for 72,000 naira. The link will be sent to the comment section, which is for the online class. If you want a physical class, it's also for 6 weeks and it goes for 150,000. But because you're here today, with there's a 10% off, you'll be paying 135,000 naira. It's a 6 week intensive program. And trust me, our expert here would guide you all through the journey. Like you said, he's always busy. So you might not have your time if you are not in the system. And the thing is, before I got hold of him, you people should be thanking God. In fact, this is an opportunity for him to be here today because if he's not handling this project today, is doing one thing or the other. And I said, oh, it's like me. I will transition into this data analytics space. I want to be busy and be enjoying money like you now because you are hot cake. So we
Oh, wow.
have so for the beginners, there's a class for 999 naira on our website. And for the intermediate class, which is for 6 weeks, we have the online and the physical class. The online 80,000, 10% off 72,000. And for the physical, the walk-in, which is in Ikeja, it is going for 150. But because you're here, you can pay 135,000. And the links will be sent to you. The links will be in the comment section. And also, the amazing part of everything I've said now is you can pay in 2 installments. So if you want to pay in 2 installments, our account details will be sent on that platform. If you're not on the WhatsApp group yet, please kindly join with the link so that once you make your payment, you send a screenshot. We would prepare you for the next cohort, which is happening first week of September. And so the installment is you pay 60% now and then 2 weeks after for the online class. But for the physical class, you pay 60% now and 40% 3 weeks after. So we have for beginners and we have for intermediate. Beginners 9,999 naira. And the link is on our website. Our website is www.crelospace.com. As written on my picture here, just www.crelospace.com and type, go to courses and pick introduction to Excel with data analytics. You can use your pay stack to pay. So the process is easy. But if you're finding it difficult, our account number will be shared here. So once you make the payment, send us a DM either by WhatsApp or Instagram or any of the means, but check out for informations on the in the comment section, and also look at your WhatsApp group right now. Would open it for people to chat. We'll also send the same information. Please send the same information on the WhatsApp group. Now, for those that are keeping their questions, it's time for questions now. We're going to be taking questions now. Okay, there's someone who has. Okay, there's a question here. Can someone who has never done data analysis do the intermediate class without the beginner's class? Can you
You want
hear
me to
me?
answer that? Right.
Yes, there's a question. Can you see the question as well?
Yeah, yeah, I can. Can someone who has never done data analysis do the intermediate class without the beginner's class, right? All right, so this is it, yeah. So if you listen to the list of technologies you will be learning, first is Excel. So it's on purpose, right, for people who have not done the beginner's class before, right? It's now easy for you to now learn Excel, right? Apart from me, I and my team have we have we are thinking of people who come into our cohort and trying to make sure that, and we design our class in such a way that even if you have not done it before, your willingness to learn. Remember one of the things I said at the beginning of this interview was that the very first thing I feel that employers will be looking out for, which is today I interviewed someone, and what I told him was, he showed me pretty amazing skills and all of that, and I said, apart from all these skill sets you have, what I'm looking forward to is your adaptability, right? How adaptable are you to the new technologies? How can you change quickly to, if you they give you a new role, a new hat to wear, how can you adapt quickly, right? For me, I feel that that's one of the biggest skills to have. Yeah, so we have embodied that in our mindsets, and we have actually developed our courses in such a way that even if you're a beginner, we will help you walk through the story to make you confident enough to move to the next level during the period of going through your Excel stage, right? Because I wouldn't, if I take you into Power BI without teaching you Excel itself, it might get you more confused, right? But if you understand the integrity of Excel before coming into Power BI, it makes it more easy, right?
Okay, okay, great. Great. Okay, so the second question here is there an approachable way to apply for an internship as a data analyst?
Okay, so I would tell you my own real time story, my own real life story, how I approached my first mentor. So I went into a data analyst school, physical. I wish I probably might have even joined. I wouldn't know because I mentioned it to him, right? So he's one of, if you know him, he's one of the biggest we have in Nigeria currently, right? He's one of the big in Africa. When I met him, he was quite busy that I was pursuing him up and down, and he was traveling around the world teaching. Around the world, he was teaching data science. Yeah, that's how big he is. Yeah. So when I met him the very first day and I approached him, and like I said, network rigorously. That's who I am. Right. So I was just transitioning. Prior to where, remember, I did computer science. So I was doing web development, app development, a little bit of digital marketing at that time. As at that time. So I wanted to transition into data analysis. And I went to this data, a fiscal training, something like this, but fiscal. And then I asked who is the organizer of this training, funnily. So apparently I met my real life story. I met my one person from my alma mater who went to same school. She's a data engineer. Wonderful girl, wonderful lady. So I asked her. So while we were talking, I said, who set up this thing? And then she said, that's the man over there. And I walked up to him and said, sir, I want to be your mentee. Right? And then he looked at me like, who is this guy? So most times this how tech guys behave. It's always scary because especially when you have too much money, it's not like they want to come and kidnap you. All right, so it was like he was a little bit scared at some point, and then he said he wouldn't pay me. Now this is what he told me. He said, I won't pay you, but you work for free. I said, that's what I want to do. All right. And then he said, come on board. And that was it. It wasn't up to 3 months. I got a deal. I got a data analysis project. I was paid in hard currency from that same person. All right. And since then, so I quickly want to say this also. Now you see how the economy is. My friends, if any of my friends are here, they will tell you this is exactly what I'll tell anybody. Right? Once I see that the so prior to this time, because now I have a lot of Nigerian clients, I can't just diss them because of the economy, right? Once I see the economy is going to shake and dollar is going to gain so much power over the naira, I shun Nigerian clients. I begin to deal with only foreign clients. But I wouldn't do that if I didn't have the skill. Do you understand? So basically, yeah, I feel that so connecting with the mentor, basically that's so. How do you find the internship programs? Rigorously talk to people, ask for free training, ask for free work, ask to just I forgot. There's this word. It's just leaving my head. Right? Just offer services, offers services. Mentors, trust me. Today I was asking for another new person to join my team, right? So apparently, most times we always have projects we need to dump on people, right? We need to help people to help, right? Most times your mentors need these things because they are always super busy. Trust me, if you approach someone and tell him, "Oh, I want you to mentor me," now the thing is you must be open. Quickly, let me use this one of Vusi Tembenkwayo's explanation of humility, right? So let's picture this. There is a G wagon. We all know what a G wagon, Mercedes G wagon is, and then there's a Ferrari. You would know that a Ferrari moves faster than a G wagon. True or false? Why does a Ferrari move faster than a G wagon? Simple. One, because the Ferrari is closer to gravity. Two, because of the way it's built for aerodynamics, so that it can pierce through the air faster. And then, of course, it runs on turbo engine, right? If that is the case, it means that you must bring yourself low, humble yourself, so that you can achieve so much from your mentors. Do you understand? So basically, you must be ready to come that low so that you can move fast. That's what I'm trying to say. So ask once you see you can go on LinkedIn, send people messages. Sometimes there are smart tools, smart marketing tools you can use. Sometimes when I'm looking for foreign clients, that's what I do. I have some smart tools. I just populate, I'll come on LinkedIn, do data scraping, scrape every single person that is a data scientist or data analyst employer. I'll scrape all their data sets, bring them on an Excel sheet, and send them and bombard them with messages. All I have to do is just one click, because AI is there to help me. All I have to do is I just generate. Okay, so I'm giving you too much secrets, but then I might not even need to generate the message myself. I might use an AI to still generate the message, right? I send them messages, and before you know, they keep replying and say, "Oh, I love to work." I kid you not, you go to my LinkedIn, see a lot of messages sending for partnerships. They want to partner, they want to do this, they want to do that. Yeah, but I sent them messages first. So basically, network rigorously, ask for help, right? So just like Madam Uju said, I also learned in the later part of my life was when I began to learn how to ask for help. If I until recently, one of my cousins reached out to me and something happened. I really needed help, and in my mind, I thought I was the one to help myself. Not until when my cousin reached out to me and said, "What's up? Why are you going through this yourself?" And then he said, "Whoa, bro, let me do this for you." And I'm like, "Wow, I've never been receptive to help. I've always thought I should help myself." So yeah, so that was when I knew that I could ask anyone about anybody for help. And then since then, my life has changed tremendously. So I just give it that. That's like my 1 cent. If you didn't grab anything throughout the day, that's like my 1 cent. Be ready to ask for help as many times as possible. A lot of people are willing to help, but it depends on who you are asking, what you're asking for, and how you are asking.
Great, thank you for that. And also, apart from mentors, um, you can also look out for those who are looking for volunteers. Recently, Quello Space needed volunteers, I think about 2 weeks ago. And I put up the ad and I had to close the ad down because I had more people. And it took me 3 days to finish the interview of people who are willing to showcase their talents. Now, a lot of people struggle with unemployment, but you would keep your talent to yourself, and it will just be dwindling, or be diminishing. But because you have so much, you also want to show to the world that this is what I can do. And then I had amazing people. Like, I had somebody who has been in the media industry for over 20 years. I had people, even have somebody from Canada. I don't know if he's airing, if he's today, if he's here today, who are willing to help, who just want to show you that this is what they can do. And trust me, I've got my eyes on about three people who I'm willing to retain already. And so one of the volunteers that I interviewed also said she volunteered before she got the job she's currently on. And when she saw this, she felt like, okay, for a company to put out that they needed volunteer, it means the workload is large. And so she said she's going to do this. And when I listened to all that she can do, I was like, goodness, we have amazing people out there. And before you know it, retainership, recommendation, you also sharpen your skill. You'll be more confident that you can actually do this. So yes, that's for I just added to that. So there's another question here. Is I don't know if you're going to answer that, because it said, what is data redundancy and what are the 7 stages in data analysis? Do you want
All
to
right,
answer
so
that?
within the space of this training, we might not have the time to talk about the 7 stages of data analysis because I might have to
Okay.
explain them in depth, right? So basically, it's just asking the right question, gathering the right metrics, collecting the right data, data preparation and data preparation, data modeling, data visualization and analysis, data analysis, then data visualization, and then forecasting. That's for the second question. And for the very first question is data redundancy is just having noisy data. It's when you have data points that are not really making sense within the data set. Right. So they are not going to help you make business decisions. So what you have to do is to take it off. Right? Is that you take it off or you use there are some other statistical model you can use to address such issues, right? Several statistical models you can use, but you can get all of that when you get into a cohort, basically. But like I said, asking the right question, generating the right metrics, collecting the right data, those are the steps, basically, until forecasting.
Okay, great. I think there's one more question here before we call it a night. How do you handle working with uncertain or incomplete data?
Ask questions. Never stop asking questions. So what I do first is ask questions. Why is this data incomplete? Why don't we have this? Why don't we have that? Try to understand. So basically, you're trying to understand what you're solving, right? So before you even begin to deal with incomplete data, if you make decision based on incomplete data, what kind of decision will you be making? Incomplete decision, or you'll be giving incomplete insight, right? So, and of course, there's a way you measure this statistically, right? To be sure that whenever you are doing sample size kind of measurement, right? So please let's just sample size kind of measurement. If you get into a cohort, I can now explain this deeper, right? When you're doing a sample size kind of measurement, yeah, there's a particular threshold you must have of the whole for you to be able to make decisions for the whole based on that sample size. Do you understand? So basically, how I deal with handle uncertain data or incomplete data is to ask the business owners, especially if I'm not the one who. So most times I love to be at the end-to-end project. I'm that kind of guy. I love to be at the data collection part till the data analysis part. So I do what is called data validation at the data collection part, so that my data is not even incomplete. So I think even when I got into the space, that was a very serious problem. But people like I and my friends, in fact, when we talk, I and my data friends actually, right? When we talk about these things like, why the hell do you not do data validation even before you collect the data? So would you have an incomplete data? Do you understand? So for me, I like to be proactive to solve such problems. So at the point of data collection, I validate. Do you understand? So I don't have incomplete data. But when I have to deal with incomplete data, I'll ask questions. Do you understand that? So that's it. And so one quick one, Madam Uju, just in case you might be also be interested in coming around for. So someone just messaged me, and I just remembered that I'll be having also a fiscal cohort, a fiscal talk at Lekki Phase 1 tomorrow. Go My Code. I can't remember the. I don't. Please just reach out to Crelos Space Management. Probably they will help you with the timing. I'll probably share that with them. Right. So Go My
Okay.
Code is a Tunisian company within Nigeria that I also interface with, right? So I'll be having a physical session at Lekki Phase 1. If you probably want to still interface direct with me and you're around that region, you can come around and so we can have a talk. I think there's coffee to go around too. I'm a coffee guy, so there's coffee to go around.
Okay, I can't thank you enough for this session. I don't know if you still have any questions, but if we don't have, can you in one word share in the comment section how this powerful webinar was to you? In one word, in one word, tell me. How was the webinar in one word? And let us also appreciate Mr. Harrison Yakubu amazing for this amazing session. And don't forget that we have on our website other tech and business skills ranging from blogging to copywriting to business technology and the likes. Data analytics is also there. Um, so, okay, someone is asking a question, but I just want us to take advantage of the offer we have now while it lasts. We understand we need to position ourselves for better opportunities in order to enjoy career advancement and financial acceleration. Okay, so somebody said your session was amazing, insightful, superb. Thank you, awesome, eye opener. This is really amazing. And should you still have any questions, you can send a DM to our WhatsApp group, the one we created for the webinar, and also follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Prelos Space. And our WhatsApp group is currently open for participants to type. So should you have any question, please do not hesitate to ask the question. Okay, someone said the webinar is mind-blowing and insightful, enlightening, really insight. I told us to stay to the end that I have something for us. And so here is the task. The task that I said, okay, if you stay through to the end, if you know during the process, the WhatsApp group is already open. If you know you stayed from beginning till the end, 5 people will get something from me. So go to our WhatsApp group and screenshot your notes. Send it now. Send it at the end of the session. If you were writing during this session, send the notes to me and send to the WhatsApp group. And trust me, your gift will be waiting for you. Someone said, okay, it's really insightful, educative. So, is there any other question before we call it a day? So if you're looking at transitioning into the tech space, we have two options for you currently. We have the self-paced learning, which goes for 9,999 naira, which is for beginners. And for the intermediate level, we have physical class and online class. For online class is 6 weeks and you pay 72,000 as against 80,000. This is an opportunity for you to take, everyday dollar rise, not to come tomorrow and hear that, okay, the price for data analytics is now 100,000. So we are giving you the opportunity to pay in 2 installments. You can send us a DM and we'll discuss more about it. So if you want the physical, the walk-in is 150, but you pay 135,000. There's a 10% discount because you are here today. Can you send the WhatsApp link, please? Resend the WhatsApp link. So I will take one more question before we call it a day. And thank you so much, Mr. Harrison Yakubu, for this powerful and mind-blowing session. Before any question, yeah, it's on LinkedIn. I will share it with us. Please join our WhatsApp group and whatever information you need, so we don't take time, I'll share it with us. So, Mr. Yakubu, Mr. Arisi Yakubu, do you have any one last word for our participants before we call it a night?
All right, thank you very much. So let me quickly start with this. I saw a question that I think I just needed to talk about here, which is so the person asks, "How do you get remote jobs?" See, there's so much. There are several ways that Yorubas have an adage that you usually say this that onokon oja, right? It's not one road that leads into the market. There are several roads, right? So you cannot just be heavily dependent on one strategy. There are several strategies, right? Maybe we might do a quote for that. I don't know yet, because trust me, for you to actually understand each of these strategies, you need not just one day, but at least 1 month with constant practice. Like I said, for everything you want to master, even searching for jobs, is a skill on its own. It's a skill set on its own. For you to master that, whether you're searching for virtual jobs or physical jobs, for example, there is the LinkedIn space, there's Upwork, there's Fiverr, there are all these platforms. But you need to understand the algorithms and how all these platforms work, and you need working professionals who have done it. You can also go on my Upwork and see how much I mean, that's a fraction of what I've earned on my Upwork, a very small fraction, right? Compared to what I've actually done both on LinkedIn and even on Upwork, right? So there, all these spaces are there, but you need to learn from people who have done it, right? Just like they say, the man who sees better because he stands on the shoulders of giants, right? So that now will be my last word, right? That you find this right giants to stand on their shoulders so that you can see farther. All right, learn. Don't stop learning. Keep learning. Learn. In fact, the biggest skill, in fact, one of the best skill I think you can have now is the skill to learn, unlearn, and relearn. So don't stop learning. Keep learning and continue learning. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I've always been big on the word learning because there was a point in my life where, I thought I'm okay after, university days, and I was working. I didn't try to look for how to sharpen my skill because I felt like, I graduated with a particular grade, and I saw myself declining. You see, the day I was able to take my learning serious, I felt more confident in what I can do, in how I can speak to people. For me, learning is an everlasting, is a continuous process. Yes, it's a continuous process, so there's no end to it. Immediately you realize that there's no end to learning, the better for you. So thank you so much, Mr. Harrison Yakubu, one more time. And I want to appreciate everyone who has joined. I do hope that you had an amazing session. Obviously, you had, I've seen messages, really insightful and the likes. And very important, if you follow us on our social media handles, we hold webinars like this for different tech courses or different topic of discussion actually, which will do you good. So stick to our Facebook and Instagram handle so that you can enjoy insightful tips and educative tips. And also, don't forget, I've said it, don't forget to follow us on social media. And I will be calling it a night. If you're not on the WhatsApp group yet, let me know, and we'll be sharing all of the informations you need from Mr. Yakubu to Krella Space and the likes. So thank you once more, Mr. Yakubu. Mr. Harrison Yakubu. Do have a wonderful night. Thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye.